A quick yes in the chat box if I'm visible and audible to everyone here. All right. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very much. So how is everyone here doing? Let me know in the chat box. How are you guys doing on this beautiful Saturday morning? Yes, good, great, fine. Okay. Who's doing fantastic here today? Who's doing fantastic here today? Me in the chat box if you're doing fantastic. Thank you very, very much. So let's do a quick exercise. Okay. Before we start, let's do a quick exercise. Because, over the next 2.5 hours or so, we're going to be spending this time together. And how many of you here want to take out 100% of what you learn here today? 100 in the chat box if you're somebody who would like to take out 100%. 100 in the chat box. So there's also a principle. जो मांगोगे वही मिलेगा. Only what you ask for will be available to you. So if you say 100, you'll get 100 in the chat box. Okay, thank you. Thank you very, very much. Fantastic. Good to see that. All right. So raise your index finger up. Some of you might know this exercise already. Okay, raise your index finger of the right hand up. Okay, and what you do is you can take that index finger and use your mouse or the touch screen to click on the button that says camera, and you'll see that it'll magically turn on. Try it. It works every single time. No, we have come to a level where technology can let us do that so that we can see each other face to face. All right. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Good. Others who missed it, index of the right finger up and click on the button that says camera. Okay, very quickly. Okay, thank you. So raise your right hand up. Let's do a quick energy check. Raise your right hand up. Okay. Left hand up. Give yourself a nice shake. Shake yourself up. Shake, shake, shake. Okay. Okay. Now, if you want to try the turn on your camera, you can still try it. It will still work. Okay. All right. Good. Now tell me, how is everyone here feeling today in the chat box? How is everyone here feeling today? Let me know in the chat box. Powerful. Okay. See a few. Fantastic. Fine. Good. Thank you very much. Awesome. Good. Okay. Great. Happy. Thank you very much. Thank you. So today, we're here to discuss something very, very important. But before I go into that discussion, I have got a few things to ask you. How many of you here feel that you could actually use a little bit more energy? Me in the chat box. If you felt that, hey, it will be good if I can use a little bit more energy. How many of you have also seen that it is your involvement in the process that makes all the difference? Me in the chat box. If you've always seen that it is your involvement in the process that makes all the difference. So let me ask you this. How many of you here are going to give your 100% in this session here today? Because it will involve some work. Okay, me in the chat box, if you are going to put your 100% into this, because it will involve some work. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. Fantastic. Good to see that. So let me move directly into the topic today. And the topic is this: inflammation reset. The hidden fire. Now we have something just called the digestive fire, but this is a different kind of fire. Okay, this is more like the wildfire. There's a difference between the fire that burns in your kitchen and there's a difference in the wildfire. How many of you agree to that? There's a fire that burns in your kitchen, right? Every day that ensures that we get food. There's a second one that actually burns everything up. Okay. So this is the fire that I'm talking about, the one that burns everything up. And it is the hidden fire behind modern disease. And the Ayurvedic path to lifelong vitality is what we're going to discuss here today. And is it okay if how many of you know me from before? How many of you, sorry, different question. How many of you don't know me from before? Type don't know in the chat box if you don't know me. If you don't know me, type don't know in the chat box. Okay. Let me know if you don't know me. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Anju, thank you very much. I hear you. So a little bit about who I am. Hi, my name is Dr. Harish Ravi Warrior. And it's because I've walked the talk, what you're going to hear today, and also helped around 50,000 plus people. Others do the same within our community. I'm a TEDx speaker where I delivered a talk, which some of you might have heard a little while ago, on what is your gut feeling. This happened in Pune in 2025 February. There have been over 10,000 plus success stories in our community, from reversing diabetes to PCOS to healing IBS to, getting their help with autoimmune conditions and chronic fatigue. We are also people who are trusted by CEOs, parents, entrepreneurs, and more transformation seekers from 10 plus countries. Because when decision makers need real results, they come here. We help them fix their gut in such a way that not just their gut, but their gut-brain connection improves so that they're able to make better decisions. And we have been into Ayurveda for 15 plus years now. I have explored a lot into the other areas of healing as well, like functional science, like neuro-linguistic programming, and also many other contemporary sciences, so that we are able to make the best use of whatever armament we have available to help you in the best possible way. Okay. Now, these are a few responses that we received from some of the programs that we did in the past to get an idea of how we work. One thing I'm following most of all, the things, and I see great improvement in my confidence, enjoying my work better, and life is much better. Thanks, doctor. Feels like I'm refined by you. Ups and downs in the last 3 months, but it felt like I was holding on to something solid and it was not a free fall. A commitment to certain processes like the one we have here is what I'm holding on to keep myself going. Others being chanting, attending knowledge building classes. So, it's not just one area that gets refined. It is each and every area when you start working on your gut. Now, 20,000 plus lives transformed and counting through many of our in-person programs that we have done. It's not just help. We have transformed over 20,000 plus lives, solving problems others are only able to manage at times because we work deep. We do one-to-one Ayurvedic consultations. Our team does that. Tailored plans and not generic advice. Intensive in-house treatment. We have a center here in Kerala, and it is designed to reset your body at the root level. Now, proven transformation programs, and it's not tips and tricks that we give out, but it's systems that we develop. And the breakthrough sessions that we do from time to time gives you a clear mind and a clearer direction. Now, let me ask you this. Have you been feeling, how many of you have feeling that I've not done much that is wrong? Me in the chat box, if you have felt that, hey, I've done a lot of things and it's not a lot of wrong things that I've done when it comes to my habits, when it comes to my food, me in the chat box, if that is you. You've had a healthy life. You've had a life that has not been all over the place, at least for the last few years. You're eating clean, mostly from home, and you're majorly depending on food chains and all, fast food chains and all those to keep your hunger under check. You've been eating clean, but how many of you here have been feeling that your stomach is not feeling right? I in the chat box, if that is you. You've been eating clean, but you have a feeling that your stomach is not feeling right. You've been eating well, but the way your digestive system responds is not right. You've been getting good amount of sleep. Type sleep in the chat box if you've been getting good amount of sleep, but you've been feeling that the energy levels are not sufficient. You've been getting good amounts of sleep. Type sleep in the chat box if that is you. You've been getting good amounts of sleep, but somehow it just doesn't add up. You're getting sleep, but the energy is just not there. And for how many of you, it is also a fact that you've been trying to think straight. but the more you try, the worse it gets. You've been I in the chat box, if you've been trying to think straight, and the more effort you put in, the worse it gets. That is anxiety, brain fog, mood swings, all these just crop up out of nowhere when you least expect it. For how many of you it's a fact that your gut is saying that something is wrong, but your reports are all normal? Your gut is saying that something is wrong, but your reports are all normal. Me in the chat box if that is you. Or almost normal. It's not a major shift, but then it's something is there. See, is it okay if I tell you what is not going to help you? Is it okay if I start with that? Is it okay if I tell you what is not going to help you? Because if it had to help you, it would have already done that. If it had to help you, that would have already happened by now. Take a look at this. A diet plan will not help you. How many of you agree to it? Type agree in the chat box if you agree to the fact that a diet plan will not help you. I'm talking about a diet plan will not help you. Type agree in the chat box if you agree to it. A diet plan is not going to help you. Because if it had, at least a few crores of people who are here would not have a challenge at all. Because most of them have diet plans that they follow, either of YouTube or of diet prescriptions. A boring lecture that you might see somewhere might or might not help you. Agree in the chat box. A lecture might not help you because it will create a shift for that moment. But does it have the potential to carry you forward is a major question that I have. And why did I put that word boring there? The reason for that is if it is not interesting, you will not follow it. How many of you agree to that? I'm sure all of us have had that experience in school at least, right? If it's not interesting, it's very, very, very little chances that we might follow it. Third, if this third thing had fixed us, most of us wouldn't be here. I'll find it only 3 or 4 people on this call, I'm sure. A quick fix or a magic pill. How many of you agree that this is not going to fix it? A quick fix or a magic pill. If that was the case, most of us would not be here. I wouldn't be doing this session at all. I would be prescribing pills for sure. If it had fixed it. Okay? And if one solution was able to fix everyone, we wouldn't be here. So this is not what is required. And this masterclass is all about the missing piece you have never been shown. This masterclass is all about the missing piece that we have never been shown. Type MP in the chat box if you'd like to realize what that missing piece is. MP in the chat box. MP for missing piece, okay? Not Madhya Pradesh. MP for missing piece. Today, missing piece. Okay. Thank you. Anybody from MP here? Type me in the chat box if you're from MP. Anybody from MP here? All right. All right. So why don't everybody let me know where are you guys from? Quickly, let me know in the chat box. Which part of India or the world are you from? Kolkata, Bangalore, keep going, keep going. Andhra Pradesh, Hargon, MP, okay. Bombay, Goa, Tirupati, Greater Noida, okay, Delhi NCR, Bhopal, okay. Bangalore, thank you very, very much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for letting me know where are you from. Okay. And also let me know what brought you here. Let me know in the chat box. What is it that brought you here? What is it that brought you here? Okay. Arthritis IBS gut reason workshop. Okay. 3 days class. Okay. Oh, you want to take care of myself? Wait. Okay. Where is IBS? Low energy. Okay. Thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Super. Okay. Now, to follow this, whatever you're going to learn here today, you do not need willpower. Okay. Because willpower is limited. How many of you believe that's true? That willpower is limited. I in the chat box, if you believe that willpower is limited, the amount of effort, the amount is limited. Always we feel that, hey, I put some effort in, and there is some point where the willpower just fades. It cannot take you beyond a certain point. And you don't need to be perfect. How many of you here have been in the in any of our communities for more than consistently been on any of our communities for more than a year now? Type YEAR in the chat box if you have been in the community for more than a year. Okay. And how many of you here, from everybody who has answered a year, have seen that we focus on progress and not perfection? Type progress in the chat box if you have seen that the focus is on progress and not perfection. Because anybody here who has been in the path with us would know that it is constant progress that we work on. It's not about what we could not do in the past, but it is all about what is the next step that we can take towards our future. How many of you believe that's the framework with which you'd like to work? Progress and not perfection. Type me in the chat box if your framework needs to be progress and not perfection. Thank you very, very much. You don't have to be fully Ayurvedic. See, Ayurveda is a science that definitely gives you a lot of space for growth, a lot of space for self-reflection, a lot of space. How many of you believe that you cannot be fully Ayurvedic? You cannot follow everything, but you like to follow a few principles that will help you. Me in the chat box if that is you. You don't need to be fully Ayurvedic. You don't have to brand yourself as an Ayurvedic person to be able to follow this. And you don't have to figure it out alone. You can figure it out together. Okay. And it's about progress. It's about taking that one step every single day. Only question that you need to ask yourself is that whether you have taken that step every day. Got it? Got it in the chat box if you got that? The only question that you need to ask yourself, don't ask anybody else, whether you have taken that step forward. The next day, have you taken one step forward, or are you in the same place? Got it? Okay. Now, you just need all these. You just need clarity. How many of you need clarity? Type C in the chat box if you need clarity. A rhythm, most importantly, to follow a certain rhythm where one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, you know what to do. A guide who sees your whole self. Me in the chat box if that is you, that you want a guide who is able to see your whole self and not just one part of it. So I hope all of you have taken the printout of the workbook that was shared. Yes. Yes. Can everybody show that on screen? The printout of the workbook? Or you have a e-version of it? How many of you, quick question, I'll give you a workaround for the workbook as well. No in the chat box if you have not taken a printout. No in the chat box if you have not taken a printout. Okay. No in the chat box if you're not. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, Dharani, did I miss Dharani here? Dharani, you here? Yeah. Dharani,
Yes, sir.
yeah, please share that book once again in the group.
Sure, sir.
The workbook right away. Please share it right away so
Sure,
that
sir.
anybody who has not taken a printout is able to work with the e-copy of it. So anybody has not taken a printout, you will see that the book will come right now in the WhatsApp group. Okay? It'll come right now in the WhatsApp group. And open that. It'll come up in the WhatsApp group. Just open that. Or others who already have the book with you, please open page number 1. Please open page number 1. And you're going to write down why you're here today. What brings you here today? Everybody who's got the e-copy on the WhatsApp group, please open that and just write down in a notebook or on a page why you came here today, why I came here today. So there is a sub question to it. I joined this session because I want to feel better in my dash. Okay. The second question would be, one thing I really want to stop feeling is, what is it that you want to stop feeling? You're having certain feelings. What is it that you want to stop feeling? The third is, if I could change one thing about my health, it would be. So write down all these 3 and let me know in the chat box once you're done. It'll come up in the group right now. Has it come in yet? The team has shared it in the group. Thank you, Dharni. So complete the activity. Will take 2 minutes to complete that activity. Dharani, can you share it in the chat box as well? Can you share it here in the chat box as well, please? Type done in the chat box once you're done. Please type done in the chat box. ND in the chat box if it's not done. It's not complete yet. ND in the chat box if you're still completing it. ND in the chat box if you're yet to complete. Okay, I'm going to take 1 more minute to complete it. Right, start wrapping it up. Start wrapping it up. All right. Time khatam, piche kadam. Right, so you can keep your books aside for now. So you've written down what it is. All right, with me. Type with me in the chat box if everybody's here with me in the session. Okay, with me in the chat box. With me. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Super. So let's continue what we were learning. We've written down what is it that you're going for. That's brilliant, because one of the most important things that we all need to be aware of is what our day was like. What are things that we learned from our day? What are the expectations that we have? Now imagine this. Imagine in 3 months from now, you're able to wake up light and clear. I in the chat box, if you want any of these, okay, whenever I say a statement, if you are that, type I in the chat box. Wake up light and clear. Joints, gut, and skin feel smooth. Eat without second guessing. Breathe deeper. Live calmer. You want to feel like your body loves you back. This is what you want to feel. How does your body feel today? Let's do a quick reflection of how does your body feel today. Open page number 2 and check all the things that feel true for you today. Open page number 2 and check all the things that that feels true for you today. For example, I wake up tired. My stomach feels funny, like gas, bloating, pain. I feel heavy or slow, can tick. I get angry or sad easily. I can't focus for long. My skin feels itchy, looks dull. I feel hungry a lot or never hungry. I don't sleep well at night. And write down how many boxes you have checked. Okay. Write down how many boxes you have checked. You can finish the rest later. Okay. That is that tells me, and now complete the sentence. You can hold on to that. Okay. Lakshman Rao, you click 0. Okay. Good to see that. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Great. Now, what is a hidden culprit? We're here to find out what's a hidden culprit. It's not sugar. See, how many of you here have had a feeling that, hey, I'm taking a lot of processed sugar, I'm taking a lot of carbohydrates, I'm taking blah, 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 and that is the reason why I'm facing all of this. I in the chat box, if at some point you've had this feeling, me in the chat box, if at some point you've had this feeling, hey, iske wajah se ho sakta hai, this is what the reason why. And how many of you also thought that, hey, this is all happening because of stress? I in the chat box, if ये सब स्ट्रेस की वजह से हो रहा है, everything is happening because of stress. There is no other hidden culprit. It is just this. It is not any of that. It is chronic, invisible inflammation. And you've been living with it far longer than you think. Some of you, anybody who has been in a relationship for more than, say, 20 years? Anybody who's been in a relationship for more than 20 years? Me in the chat box if that is you. I will hit 20 years in another 4 years. Okay. Any sort of relationship. I'm sure that if you have been facing any of these challenges, you've been living with inflammation far longer than your relationship itself. You've been living with inflammation far longer than you've been having a relationship. You've been living with inflammation. Okay. So this is what you have been living with. Now, which one do you need? I've got a question for you. Which one do you think is going to save you? How many of you here have tried tips, tricks of the internet? Me in the chat box, if you've tried tips and tricks of the internet. Me in the chat box, if you've tried tips, tricks of the internet. Some of them might have worked great. Some of them might not. Some of them might have worked because it just landed for you in the right place and you were lucky, most likely. Okay. Some of them might not have because it was not the right thing for you. One of the things that I see today, and let me know in the chat box if you see this today, that there is a lot of information that is coming out which is not researched enough. How many of you agree to that? There's a lot of information that is coming on which is not researched enough, which might not have short-term consequences, but the long-term consequences will only be visible 20 years from now. How many of you agree to that? It's not something that's completely visible today because it's just a few days or a few months or a few years. But in 20 years' time, the story might be very, very different. Has the potential to be very, very different. That's the reason why we need systems. How many of you believe that's true? We need systems and not tips. Type systems in the chat box if you're somebody who really want systems and not just tips and tricks. Systems. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. Now, this is the system that you're going to learn today. You're going to find the fire. You're going to interrupt the cycle. You're going to find the fire. You're going to interrupt the cycle. You're going to reset the system. And you're going to embody vitality. Ready? Ready in the chat box if you're ready for this? You're going to find the fire. You're going to interrupt the cycle. You're going to reset the system. And you're going to embody vitality. And this is not a diet. Okay? This is your body's reset code that we're going to learn today. And why this matters is because if you've tried everything and you felt something is missing, this is for you. It's because you are treating the symptoms and not the roots. You are treating the symptoms and not the roots. And how many of you feel it's important that we pour everything to the roots and not to the shoot? You're sure that roots will show you how to reconnect with your body's original blueprint. Now, the work has to happen at the roots. Type roots in the chat box if you believe the work has to happen at the roots. Thank you very, very much. Okay, thank you. Now, let's begin. You're here for a reason, and this is your journey back into your true health. And I'm sure all of you are ready. What you learned today by the end of the session is this: why most chronic symptoms are just inflammation in disguise, how to spot your body's early warning signs, a 4-step Ayurvedic process to cool the inflammation, and simple daily habits to reset your gut, skin, energy, and mood. This is what you're going to do. And the first step is finding your fire. Okay. Now, what is your biggest symptom? Were they just signals of inflammation, fatigue, weight, and all of this? Now, on page number 2, you have checked a certain number of boxes. Okay. Let me know in the chat box, how many boxes have you checked? How many boxes have you checked? Thank you. Now, what does this tell you? What does this tell you? This tells you, even if you have clicked 1 or 2 boxes, it means that there is inflammation. It tells you that there is inflammation. Write that down. Okay. It tells me that there is inflammation in my body. There is inflammation in my body. There is inflammation in my body. Done in the chat box once you're done. Done in the chat box. Once you're done. If you have, okay, some of you said 0. Do not have to write that. Do not have to write that. Okay? Whoever has seen it, please write it. Now, complete the sentence. Today, my body is telling me that it needs systems. Today, my body is telling me that it needs systems. Today, my body is telling me that it needs systems. Type done in the chat box once you're done. And all of you, please turn on your cameras. Cameras on, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Now, what is inflammation? How many of you had that question? What is inflammation? What is it? How do I actually understand what inflammation is? I told you about fire and all those things, you know, the metaphorical understanding of it you might have, but what is it actually? In order to understand inflammation, I'm going to take you a little back into the science of Ayurveda. Ready? Ready? But before that, let's raise both our hands up. Hands up, hands up, hands up, hands up. Shake yourself up, shake, shake, shake. Tell me, what is the energy level out of 10 now? Out of 10? 8, 9, okay? 8, 7. Anybody who is below 6, no? Raise your hands up again and just give us a nice shake again. You feel better, okay? Below 6, shake up again. All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Right. So what is it actually? For that, I'm going to take you to a lesson in Ayurveda, which is very old. And what I've come to understand is that if we look at inflammation with this viewpoint, we'll be able to tackle it in the shortest amount of time. How many of you do it in the shortest amount of time? That you want to tackle inflammation in the shortest amount of time. It's not that you want to spend long hours doing it, but you want to do it in the shortest amount of time. Thank you very much. The understanding is what will set you free. What I'm going to tell you here today, the understanding will set you free. In Ayurveda, a long time ago, they had written something, a small phrase. I don't call it a phrase, a word that defines the reason why many diseases happen in the human body. And that one thing is called ama. What's the word? Type it out on the chat box. It's called ama. Any Mallus here? Type Mallu in the chat box if you're a Mallu here. Okay, see a few Mallus here. Okay. For a Mallu, just so that everybody else knows, ama means very different. Okay. For a Mallu, ama means very different. What it means for a Mallu, what ama is, it means tortoise. What it means is tortoise. But for everybody else here, ama means undigested or indigested metabolic waste. What it means is indigested metabolic waste. Now, Ayurveda also explains how this happens. Okay, I'm going to help you through that. The verse goes like this. How ama happens? The verse goes like this. Ushmana alpa balatvena dhatu mandyam apachidam dushtam amashayagadam rasamamam prachakshade. I'll walk you through it. Okay, I'll walk you through it. What it actually means. Ushmana alpa balatvena. What it means is the digestive fire is not strong enough. The digestive fire is not strong enough. Now what happens? when the digestive fire is not strong enough. It is not capable enough of digesting. Dhatu mandyam, which means the tissues in your body, the functions in your body all slow down. How many of you experience that? When your digestive fire slows down, all the processes in your body just slow down. And you actually feel it. You know that something is slowing down, something is not happening the way it should. And you would have experienced before that your energy levels would have dipped. How many of you seen that? That's your digestive fire slowing down. Ushmana alpa balatvena dhatu mandyam. That happens. Slows down. Apachitam. That is, there is very poor digestion happening. Okay. Now, next is the very important part of this. Dushtam. Dushtam means it becomes a mess, an indigested, a mess that the body is not able to deal and which itself is destroying the body. Dushtam amashaygadam, which means it is in the gut. Rasam, that is the digestive outcome. The digestive outcome itself has become a toxin. How many of you saw that? The very thing that should nourish you has become the toxin. The very thing that was supposed to nourish you has become the toxin. Amam prachakshade. Prachakshade means this is what it is. So this is called ama. First thing that happens is the digestive fire goes down. And the interesting part about digestive fire, some of you might have noticed that digestive fire or metabolism is something which will keep reducing year by year after a certain age if you don't take care. How many of you noticed that? The basal metabolic rate, which is called BMR, will continue to come down with age if not taken care. Either with exercise or with herbs or with certain practices that you do. So the first thing is your digestive fire slows down, the functions slow down. There is a digestive waste, which is itself a toxin, and that in turn pollutes our entire body. This is inflammation. How many of you are able to see that? There's a lot of correlation between what we see as inflammation today and what was said as ama a long time ago. Me in the chat box if that is you. Now I want all of you to open page number 3. Okay. Open page number 3 and write this down. The word for this hidden body fire in English, okay? The word for this hidden body fire, I'll show it on the screen, okay? The word for this hidden body fire is called inflammation in English. The word for this hidden body fire is inflammation. In Ayurveda, we call toxins in the body as ama. In Ayurveda, we call toxins in the body as ama. Not a tortoise, but an indigested waste. Okay, we call it as ama. Now the third one. When I don't eat or live in rhythm, my body feels. I want you to write it down. When this metabolic decline starts, how does your body feel when that happens? I'm sure that you would have felt it before. Correct? You would have felt this in the past. When you started going out of rhythm, how did your body feel? You can also write how it feels today. Either one. When I don't eat or live in rhythm, my body feels sluggish and swollen. Okay. Tired, lazy, sadness, out of control. Okay. Keep going. tired. Okay. What else? Drained, lethargic, not interested. Bloated. Okay. Write that down. Type done in the chat box once you're done. Once you've done writing. Done in the chat box once you're done. Okay. Thank you. So this is what we were starting with, right? We finished finding your fire. How many of you found your fire? Type found in the chat box if you found your fire. You found your fire. Found in the chat box if you found that there is fire. I'm not talking about the fire in the kitchen. I'm talking about wildfire. Yes, found your fire. The mere understanding that there is fire is very, very important. The mere understanding is very, very important. Now, the next part is interrupting the cycle. Why what you thought was healthy might be hurting you. This is about understanding and interrupting that cycle. Okay, so let's go. 1. In the past, how many of you have had this idea? I eat healthy so I don't have inflammation. At some point, you would have thought of this. I eat healthy so I don't have inflammation. But there's no chance that I'll have inflammation. Me in the chat box if that is you. I eat healthy so I don't have inflammation. Okay. I should focus on nutrition. That's the most important thing to focus on. Focus on nutrition, give good nutrition, give supplements, give everything so that it gets everything that the body needs. And that is the only thing that is required. I should focus on nutrition. Just bring the attention to nutrition. ठीक से खाओ. And that's all what we need. That's all what we need to work on. How many of you had this in the past? Salads help everyone stay healthy. Me in the chat box. Salads khao, khush raho. Oh, I think we need to change that. For certain body types, I've changed this to salads khao, khud jaan jao. Right? So for some body types, not for all, okay? For some, it is good. For some, it is good. Now, lots of water will help me lose weight sustainably. Just keep drinking water. Just have water and nothing else. You'll be fine with that. So open page number 5. All of you open page number 5 and write down, put an X to the things that you do often. Put an X to the things that you do often. You want to cross if you're doing that often. You're taking something cold in the morning. These are some of the common things that I've seen. And I just want to make sure that none of this is something that you follow. Okay. Many a times, it's not about doing right. Many a times, it's about not doing the wrong. There's a difference, right? You do everything right, but there is also a lot of things that you do wrong. So if you just are able to take care of the wrongs, it's just like you're saving and you're spending at the same time a lot. But if you're able to reduce your spend, your savings will improve. Similarly, if you stop doing the things that are scientifically incorrect, it will actually save you. So write down cold drinks in the morning, skipping breakfast, eating late at night, eating fast or while scrolling or watching. This is a new addition to the list, okay? It was not there 10 years ago. It came recently. I'm sure that was not there when the Samhitas were written or the books of Ayurveda were written. Right? Worrying a lot. Not moving enough. Yeah, tick. And also write down the one thing that you want to change today. The one thing out of this that you know that you have to change. What is that? Pick one. Pick one. It's easier to target one. In addition to, it's about doing one thing. If you fix your attention on a lot of things, we know what happens, right? So raise your hands up. All of you, while you're doing this, please raise your hands up so you're able to do it better. Shake yourself up. Shake, 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 shake. Inflammation at times drains you as well. Okay. Okay. So what are you going to take care of today? The one thing that you want to change. Good. You can, or you may choose not to put it in the chat box, but definitely put it on the page. This is for your reflection. Okay. I'm here to show you a mirror. Okay. My intention here is to show you a mirror so that you know what's happening. Most importantly, your doctor can know, your relatives can know. But if you don't know what is happening to yourself, taking action becomes very, very difficult. And the only reason why we are given test reports by doctors is to make sure that we take action. That is the psychology behind it. I'm telling you as a doctor. Okay, that is the psychology behind it. Is to help you take action. Start chewing, stop scrolling. Thank you for that. Right. See, this is how some of the practices that we do on a day-to-day basis fuels inflammation. See, when cold smoothies go on an empty stomach, some of them do it. It creates a digestive shock. Because your body needs warmth in the morning. How many of you agree that you need warmth in the morning? Your day needs to start with warmth. Even if the temperature outside is hot, your body needs warmth. Okay? Next, skipping all food still late in the day. It's actually an insulin chaos. Your body doesn't know when, what, how. So what it will think is, hey, there is a famine coming up. It'll go into all sorts of shocks. Okay. Third, raw foods at night. There'll be a lot of, in the evening, as the evening happens, your body clock slows down. If you take raw foods at night, it will create undigested toxins. It will create bloating. It will create brain fog. Because the body will not be capable enough of handling raw foods at night. Because the digestive fire is not strong after sunset. Now, anybody would like to answer that question? What time dinner is late eating according to Ayurveda? Who would like to answer that question? I'm sure everybody can by now. There you go. And we have all the answers. The only thing is, are we asking the right questions to ourselves so that we can get the right answers? In the programs that we do, there's one called the DARE, there is one called the Roots, there is another called the Transcend. In these programs, one of the major things that we do on a day-to-day basis is reflection. Reflection is what refines us. Reflection is what refines us. How many of you agree to that? When we reflect, we refine. When we reflect, we refine. Now, emotional stress and shallow breathing. When you are emotionally not feeling good or when you are under stress, if it continues for long, our nervous system will get stuck in panic mode. Let's say there is a, I might have told some of you this before. Let's say there is a lion chasing you. What will we do? Will we do like, Khalo, eat me? Will we do that? Or we'll run? We'll at least put in a valiant effort to run. Run. Now, today, how many lions are chasing us on a day-to-day basis? Can you tell me numbers? Or matlab, our fingers will not be enough. We'll need our feet as well and others' fingers and feet as well to count them. Many. There are so many. So, will our nervous system focus on future or will it focus on running? Will it focus on future or will it focus on running? How many of you are able to see that you're not able to hit your goals because your nervous system is stuck in panic mode? And we are getting panicked by even the goals that we set. That becomes another lion. It's not inspiring us anymore. That's where we are stuck. Our nervous system is stuck in panic mode from beginning to the end. Also, let me ask you this. How many of you have heard that after a certain age, you should stop taking fats? Don't take fats. There's a lot of change today from, say, 5 years ago. But there is still a lot of places where it is still advised that you should not take fat after a certain age. What it leads to, first, is cognitive deficit. If you stop fats, your brain will stop growing. Your brain will not be able to function well. The moment you stop fat from your diet, ghee, stuff like that, your brain will start degenerating. It will use up whatever is there in the body. After that, it will start degenerating. Why I say this is because there was a time a few years ago when cholesterol medicines called statins came into the market. Can somebody remind me how long ago was that? I'm sure not more than 30 years. When it started with the metros and then it trickled down to the tier 2, tier 3 cities also. This was also the time when Indians started seeing a huge number of people having dementia, Parkinson's, and all of those. Where one solution was causing another problem. Got it in the chat box if you got that? Where one solution became the next problem. So even this can cause inflammation. Having no fat in your diet, having no proper controlled fat in your diet can also trigger inflammation. So these are the things that we do on a day-to-day basis. Okay. Now we're going into the next phase of it. We found the fire. Correct? What did we do next? We have learned how to interrupt the cycle. You've learned what is what you should do and what you should not. What are the things that are causing the inflammation? You've understood. There are a few things that you might be doing which are causing that cycle to happen. Now, the next thing that you're going to do is interesting. Reset your habits. Okay. And there are 5 habits that we're going to focus on. Okay. There are 5 habits. How many habits? Type in the chat box. How many habits? 5 habits. But before I go into that, I need some more energy and some more cameras on. Raise both your hands up. Cameras on and raise your hands up. Give yourself a nice shake, shake, shake. Okay. Great. Cameras on, please. I hear you. Now, what are the 5 habits? Tell me, what would you choose? Nutrition or digestion? I'm going to go with your choice. Okay. What are you going to do? Nutrition or digestion? Which will be your focus first? Which will be your first focus? If you were given one choice, what would that be? For me, both is like Indian politics. Yeah. You have your leg in one place, but you're sure, hey, agar wo bhi acha hai, to kya hoga? Now, what if I get that also? So, what is that like? Is it nutrition or digestion? Always choose digestion over nutrition. Always choose digestion over nutrition. Why? Because it doesn't matter what you put into your mouth unless and until you're able to process it and digest it. Correct? So always your focus should be on digestion. And we have something which is called the 5A digestion checklist. All of you have seen that. Anybody who's been through the gut reset workshop would have seen that. The 5A digestion checklist. That will tell you whether you're digesting well or not. That will tell you whether you're digesting well or not. Simple. Okay. And that checklist will save you from a lot of worries. Tons and tons of worries. Only thing is you have to be diligent enough in doing this. When we do the 21-day challenge, the Prakriti challenge, in that every day you're asked to track. So that tracking of your digestion becomes a habit. It's not about what you put into your mouth. As long as it doesn't digest, it is only adding to the... We learned a word a little while ago. Type it out in the chat box. It is adding to the ama. Simple. So if it doesn't digest, the only outcome is ama. Ama equals in modern understanding, toxin, inflammation, all of that. Right? So your first habit is definitely this: digestion over nutrition. Okay. Digestion over nutrition. So write this down. My first healing habit is, the first habit I'll start from today is digestion over nutrition. When all would you do it? Are there times when you would just snack? Are there times when you would say that, hey, I need more nutrition, I need to have more proteins? When is that time when you do that? Just identify that when you're doing it. Okay. And why do you want to try this? Why do you want to try this? I can give you 1,000 reasons why you should. But what is your reason for trying this? What is your reason for trying this? Write it down and type done in the chat box once you're done. Why do you want to do this? Because you're done with experimenting. Yeah, I hear you. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you for all the responses. Type done in the chat box once you're done. Okay, good. What would you choose next? Scientific nutrition or calm feeling while eating? Ta-ta-da. This will be really interesting. Scientific nutrition, where you have a weighing machine next to your plate, Everything that comes from the kitchen is put on the weighing machine, and Nap toolkit comes on your plate. You also have a measuring tape if you wish, which measures the length, breadth, height of the idli that comes on my plate, so that I can measure the volume of that. And then, I eat when I'm sure that the calorie intake that I had is almost equal to the workout that I did in the morning or the run that I had. And only then I will eat scientific nutrition, so-called. Or is it that calm feeling that your body tells you that, hey, this is what I want? So open page number 7. And let's see how much we are able to be aware of this fact that when I'm stressed or upset, my stomach feels what? When you're stressed or upset, what does your stomach feel like? What does it really tell you? What does your stomach feel like? Next, what does your brain feel like? What does your brain feel like? Just go through some of those situations where you have had this symptom before, where you have experienced this before. What does your brain feel like? And what is that one thing that you can do to feel calm? According to you, what has helped you calm down before? What has helped you calm down before? Write that down. Okay. Super. Thank you. So this is the brain gut connection. Okay. I took it from Hopkins Medicine. And what it says is, if you've ever gone with your gut to make a decision or felt butterflies in your stomach when nervous, you are likely getting signals from an unexpected source, your second brain. Hidden in the walls of your digestive system, this brain in your gut is revolutionizing medicine's understanding of links between digestion, mood, health, and even the way you think. It is giving you tons and tons and tons of signals, which is called the enteric nervous system. Okay. So ENS may trigger big. So we work a lot on this area. The reason is your brain and gut is connected, and everything that Ayurveda has always mentioned has got to do with functions. And the functions, when they improve, you'll get a feeling that you're feeling good. So functional bowel problems, constipation, diarrhea, bloating, IBS, all of this. For decades, researchers and doctors thought that anxiety, depression contributed to these problems. But our studies and others show that it may be the other way around. They didn't contribute. They were the reason why they happened. So the brain problems that we experience are because of the tummy problems that you have. New findings may explain why a higher than normal percentage of people with IBS and functional bowel problems develop depression and anxiety. That's important data because 30 to 40% of the population has functional bowel problems at some point. Okay. Let me ask you this. Have you ever eaten when you're upset? Me in the chat box if you have. Have you ever eaten while you were upset? Would you be able to digest when you're upset? Can this lead to disease? So it's not just about having the right nutrition, but it's also having the right moods to digest that nutrition. So your second habit is good feelings over nutrition. Good feelings over nutrition. So the target is to develop good feelings. Okay. Now, next question. What would you choose? Nutrition or timing? Nutrition or timing? See, Sachin Tendulkar was not the strongest batsman ever. Was he the strongest batsman ever? Physically strongest batsman ever? Yes or no? Not at all. I did not understand this, seriously. I did not understand this for a long, long time. Okay. Until I landed in college. Raise both your hands up. Both your hands up. Give yourself a nice shake. Okay. I went to college, and in a batch of about 30 students that joined college, there'll be 5 or 6 boys. Rest is all girls. Okay. In our college, 5 or 6 boys, rest is all girls. So getting a boy into a college was a big thing those days. And our seniors were very observant as to the boys that come in, because you need to fill in the cricket team, the football team with the people who come in. Right? Sports was prestige for us. Right? So we used to go to games, and they have to make do with whoever are the boys that come in. Right? Later, when we were leaving college, that is when the ladies also got a lot into competitive sports in our colleges. So what happened is, when I came in, one of my seniors asked me, "Hey, what do you play?" That's the standard question that we also ask all our juniors. What do you play? So if somebody says volleyball, wow. When somebody says football, wow. They've played something. Okay. And I went and I said, I play cricket. Okay? I have never played hardball ever in my life. Okay, ever in my life. I have no idea what a stitch ball looks like and feels like on the body. I said, I play cricket. I've played tennis ball cricket, but not hardball cricket. Now, my seniors, what they did is, that very day evening, they asked me to pad up. Okay. And I went in, I padded up, and they put in 3 bowlers from our senior batches who were like, and they asked me, which position do you bat? So whenever I used to play tennis ball cricket, I used to open the team, right? Because they will all be pacers, and I just timed the ball well. So they brought in bowlers who are really fast, who are really feisty, and I was all blue in the evening after that practice session. Okay. My ribs were all blue in color by the end of the day. Okay. Now, at that day evening, a senior came and told me, "Harish, do you actually want to play cricket?" I thought for it for a moment. No, I said, yes, I want to. What he said was, "You're not strong. Physically, you're not strong. But you have great timing. You can time the ball. You are not strong physically, but you can time the ball." And that's the only thing that I focused on. That is the point where I realized how Sachin used to play. He used to play because he had great timing. And if you want to play your digestion, you have to time it right. How many of you got that? Yes. If you have to play your digestion, you have to time it right. That's the only way. Okay. So let's understand, what does timing mean? Open page number 8 and answer the first 3 questions. Time I usually eat my breakfast, lunch and dinner. Write them down. Time that you usually eat your breakfast, lunch and dinner. What is the timing when you would usually eat your breakfast, lunch and dinner? Just note down. Average will do. Okay. Average. Breakfast this time, lunch this time, dinner this time. Okay, I'm sure that was easy. Next. Let me ask you this. Our digestion follows the what? Our digestion follows the sun. So let me ask you this. How many of you here are from a place where the summers are 40 degree plus and the winters can go below 15 degrees? How many of you here are from a place where the summers can go 40 plus and the winters can go sub 15 degrees Celsius? Okay. Hey, it does happen. I'm sure that some of you mentioned that you're from Delhi, Bhopal. You come to Kerala, the temperature will go around 40, 41 degrees. And the minimum that will happen is around 20 degrees, not less than that. Okay. It never comes below 20 degrees. But let's say you go to the north, the sunrise and sunset timings are also very different, correct? Sunrise and sunset timings. So my question to you is, would you have the same breakfast, lunch and dinner timings in that case? Would you have the same breakfast, lunch and dinner timings in that case? Should you follow the sun? Yes, in the chat box if you believe that's true. Yes. Now let me know. What time should you have your largest meal of the day? According to this logic, what time? And somebody mentioned that it has to be at 1 p.m. Will it be 1 p.m. always? In all climates, in all seasons? All right. So open page number 8 and write this down. Which one meal can I improve first? The timing of which meal can you improve first? It is the easiest to fix. That is your dinner. It is the easiest to fix. That is your dinner. What do you plan to do differently? What do you plan to do differently? The second question. What do you plan to do differently? Somebody mentioned about lunch being group lunch, potluck lunch, right? So what do? Fix your dinner. Fix your dinner. That's the easiest thing to fix. Now, let's say that you have 7 days. Out of 7 days, one day you eat a little out of place. What can you do? You eat a little late on a certain day. What can you do? Is it a crime? Is it a crime? Baba, I did this. Is that a crime? No, it's not. I'm sure it's not. What can you do? What can you do in that case? What can you do in that case? You can eat less, you can be more conscious. Also, let's say that you have eaten, you can give enough time the next day for the food to completely digest. That's also a possibility at times. But only thing is, don't make this a habit. Right? So let's do, there are certain days where this might happen, but let's not make this a habit. That's okay. So your third habit is timing over nutrition. Third habit is timing over nutrition. Now, what would you choose? State of your body versus nutrition. State of your body. State of your body. So when your mind is like this, okay, how many of you have seen that your mind at times is like this? Me in the chat box, have you seen that this sometimes it's a good way to say that, hey, this is how my mind is. Your digestion is also the same. Your mind is this way, your digestion is also this way, undoubtedly. Which will lead to more ama, which will lead to more inflammation. How many of you agree? Type agree in the chat box if this is a very high possibility. ये ऐसे है तो ये वैसे है. Very high possibility. Now, if your mind is calm, your digestion also has a potential to be Type it out in the chat box. Your mind is calm. Your digestion also has the potential to be calm. So your fourth habit is the feeling of calm over nutrition, especially your mind has to be calm. Now, this is a small portion from the TED Talk that I gave earlier. You might have heard this before.
Your instrument tuned. When you tune the instrument that you are, that is when you're able to move forward faster. So always keep your instrument tuned. Make your meals predictable. Third one, take a deep breath. How many of you just realized that you have been breathing all this while, but you have no idea that you have been? Right? So shall we do it as a practice? Together, yes? So may I request all of you to please stand up once? Okay, shake yourself up.
Hey, you can play with the video, okay? Go ahead.
So may I request all of you to please stand up once? Okay, shake yourself up, shake. Just give a quick shake. Okay, I see that post-lunch is difficult, I know, right? So just shake yourself up. Good. And on the count of 3, you're going to give 3 claps. How many claps? Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll do it once again, together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, please have a seat. That was me prepping you for giving me a standing ovation at the end. Okay, all right. Now, right. So what we're going to do is, we're going to